What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, King Lizard TV. It's a beautiful Sunday night tonight. I hope all of you had a great weekend, and I apologize again for not getting back to you guys with all the videos I promised, but I've been debating and writing down a couple of topics I want to do, and as you can see, today I'm rocking my Dark Knight Returns Batman t-shirt, which can only mean one thing. We're about to get into some Batman topics. Batman made his debut in comics in May 1st, 1939, so 2019 marks the 80th anniversary of Batman, the 80th year of him, the great character he is. As I've told you guys before, Batman is one of my all-time favorite characters in any media. He is by far my favorite fictional character that I've ever really grown to love and appreciate. So I've been thinking about a couple different Batman topics I wanted to do. Let's just call it Batman Week here on King Lizard TV. So I'm going to probably do at least a few Batman videos this week. I'm aiming to do at least one per night. We'll see if I can keep that pace up. But that's definitely the goal that I have in mind. Also, today marks the 30th anniversary of Michael Keaton's Batman, the Batman movie that came out in 1989 that was directed by Tim Burton and starring Michael Keaton. It was a huge blockbuster summer success and launched the Batman franchise and film that we know and love today. So today I decided, you know what, let me grab my boy here and bring him up a little closer for you guys since it is a Batman episode. Okay, so today's topic for choice top 5 will be top 5 Batman actors. Okay, so let's get right into it. Number 5, the legendary, the great, the late Adam West. Adam West was Batman, started his Batman role in 1966 in the TV show Batman. He was my personal first introduction to Batman. I can remember being a kid and staying up late with my grandmother and watching the old reruns of the old 60s Batman TV show. It was obviously super campy. It was made to go along with the Silver Age of comics, which were focusing much more on trying to be kid-friendly and things of that nature. Everything from that era is very campy. I mean, the TV show is super campy. I mean, the punches with the pow and the dings and dongs and all that stuff, and how every article he had as Batman was marked, you know, the bat phone and bat this and all that kind of stuff. And even obviously everybody knows the famous shark repellent from the movie they made. So Adam West is definitely number 5 for me. He's a lot of people's first introduction to Batman, and honestly, without Adam West's version of Batman, I'm not sure if we ever got to the Batman we all, you know, grew to love years later down the road. His time as Batman is super important in the history of the character, and I think he deserves to be in everybody's top 5 all the time. All right, moving right along. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you; these next 3 spots to me, 4 through number 2, are very interchangeable. So it was very difficult for me to rank them. But I did my best to try to be fair to each actor and their interpretations of Batman. So, number 4 for me, personally, is Ben Affleck. Affleck, to me, had the most potential out of any Batman actor that we've seen grace the big screen. Honestly, I think he had the best suit. At least the first iteration of the suit from Batman vs. Superman. I really loved the suit. The suit was very comic book accurate. His fighting style was the best. The warehouse fight scene in Batman vs Superman, while it may have been a little bit violent, it was like watching an Arkham video game in real life. That was a great, outstanding Batman fight scene. If you think about the previous Batmans, there was never really a true great Batman-esque fight scene. Batman's supposed to be one of the greatest. He's supposed to be the greatest martial artist in the world. I mean, well, not the greatest, but he's one of the greatest. He has mastered all forms of martial arts, and I feel like in other movies, you never really get a chance to see Batman do that. And I thought Ben Affleck's Batman had the greatest on-screen Batman fight scene of all time. I loved his older, beaten down Bruce Wayne portrayal. I thought it was really, really well done. I really like stories that involve an older Batman sometimes because all the history is already there with villains, and you can kind of do more things with Robins and, you know, bring like Nightwing in or other things like that. I really do love older Batman tales because you can bring in more of the Bat family and have more epic size stories, in my opinion, than you can with an earlier Batman. Again, I think potential wise, he could have been the best. Ben really did a great job with it. I thought, at least if we're judging just off of Batman vs Superman, I can't really give him too much for Suicide Squad because it was really just a cameo appearance, and Justice League really dropped the ball as a movie as in the whole. But they took this Batman that they were building with going this way, and they completely switched and went that way, and it just did not work in Justice League, which is why I think Ben Affleck only gets the number 4 spot. Okay, number 3 spot, and this is probably going to be controversial, but Michael Keaton's Batman to me is number 3. Keaton is an iconic Batman in a lot of ways. The iconic symbol, a lot of people know and love the 89 Batman symbol. That's the most common symbol you could think of. The iconic "I'm Batman" line, which has now been uttered and repeated by every Batman fan, every comic book fan, every movie fan who's ever seen a Batman film. He's obviously super dark and broody. I think that there's a lot of things that Keaton does well with being Batman, especially for the fact that people gave him a lot of crap when he got casted for being too short and being a comedy actor. He really did the darkness and the broodiness of Batman very, very well. I didn't like his Bruce Wayne too much. I think that's why for me he's only at number 3. His Bruce Wayne to me was too much of a recluse and almost too broody. I mean, if you think about, there's a scene I think in the start of Batman Returns where they first shine the bat signal to bring him in, and he's just sitting there and then in his mansion completely in the dark, just sitting there almost as he was waiting for the light to go off, and it just, I never got a sense that he was able to do the dual balance of Bruce Wayne and Batman both. It was almost like his Bruce Wayne was just Batman waiting to go out and fight crime. And I think to me to really get an excellent portrayal of Batman, you also have to have a great portrayal of Bruce Wayne, because there's two sides to the same person. Okay, so number 2 for me would be Christian Bale. Now, I know Christian Bale gets a lot of flack these days for the raspy voice, and is it a tad bit annoying now? Looking back on it in years later, sure, it's a little weird. It's a little bit rough. I'm not sure exactly why he chose to go so raspy with the voice, but Bale for sure is in the best trilogy of Batman movies. Now, that doesn't have everything to do with him. That has a lot to do with Christopher Nolan, who was the director of those films. But I just think, to me, his portrayal in this trilogy of films is the best. We didn't get Keaton for 3 films. We only got him for 2, and he walked away. We did get Affleck for 3 films. Again, 2 films and then a cameo role, but none of them were actually truly a Batman film. I guess you could argue that Batman vs Superman kind of is a Batman film, but we never saw Affleck really truly interact with any true Batman villains and a true Batman story, so that's why he can't be any higher. And I think that the reason why for Bale is higher than Keaton for me personally is because I like Bale's Bruce Wayne. He portrayed the billionaire drunken playboy better than Keaton did. And I think, to me personally, from what I like, is when Bruce Wayne does portray, in the version of Bruce Wayne who is supposed to be a drunk billionaire playboy who would obviously not be Batman because this guy lacks takes no responsibility. And you see that in the first film, how he comes to, he shows up with 2 girls who are swimming in the pool, and he just buys the hotel. In the second film, he has a story where he wants to go to, obviously he goes to China as Batman, but his Bruce Wayne story is that he takes the whole, foreign ballet dancers off in a yacht and stuff like that. So I really love his Bruce Wayne and his Batman. The Batman for me personally and with Bale is just his bat tech to me is really, really cool. I thought we got to see this Batman be a little more hands-on in terms of his gear. Like you saw him in the first film, making his gear, kind of putting it together, using his wing tech stuff to build his bat suit. So I really, really enjoyed that. And the idea that anyone can be Batman, his character expresses that a lot through the 3 films. That's a very general concept of those movies, that anybody can put on the mask and anybody can take up the mantle of Batman, because it's more than just a person, it's a symbol. And I think that iteration of Bruce Wayne and Batman did that very, very well. And number one, if you're a true Batman fan, this should come as no surprise, Kevin Conroy, who was the voiced actor who played Batman in Batman the Animated Series, The New Adventures of Batman, Justice League Unlimited, and plenty of other animated films and video games. Conroy's adaptation of Batman, I understand that he's just a voice to a character, but his voice, he was the first one to ever truly kind of change his style, his voice. His Batman, his Bruce Wayne had two different kind of voice styles. But also the Batman we saw in Conroy's adaptation was a detective, was a fighter, was a tactician. He was the Batman. So many times in the live action movies we've seen Batman be a good fighter, but we haven't seen his detective skills fully put out there the way it should be. Batman is the greatest. He is the world's greatest detective. He's also a great tactician, and he is one of the most dangerous fighters in hand-to-hand combat in the DC universe. And we don't get to see that too much. The animated version of Batman, who's voiced by Kevin Conroy, is the closest thing to a perfect Batman that we've seen, and you see it grow from the animated series to New Adventures of Batman and Robin to Justice League Unlimited. That whole DC universe they built with cartoons was phenomenal, and I think that his version of Batman was just fantastic, and his version of Bruce Wayne was also very, very well done. One of my all-time favorite Batman movies is an animated film called Mask of the Phantasm. If you're a Batman fan and you've never seen that animated movie, check that out. Mask of the Phantasm is one of the best, brilliantly written Batman stories ever. I've actually heard rumors that the Robert Pattinson Batman film might take a little bit of influence from that, and that would make me really, really happy. So there we go. Those are my top 5 Batman actors: Adam West, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and Kevin Conroy. I'm actually very excited to see with what Robert Pattinson can do with the character, and maybe one day he'll be a top 5. Maybe one day he'll be the best. We have no idea. It's going to be good to see him get his own trilogy of films and his own interaction with famous Batman villains and things of that nature. Going forward this week, I want to get down a couple more Batman topics. I want to do top 5 Batman villains, top 5 Batman movies, top 5 Batman gadgets. So there's a couple different topics I want to do. I'm going to put a link up on my Facebook and have people vote again on what topics they want to see that are Batman related, because this is going to be my Batman week here, celebrating the 80 years of Batman. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the deal, guys. Have a great night. Too sweet.